Happy Mindful Mondays, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Jenni's Self-Care Lab. This week, we're actually tackling one of my favorite ingredients simply because I had to actually sit down and learn a little bit more about this ingredient. But as a chemistry lover myself, I remember this ingredient from high school when I was doing chemistry, and I've seen it in a couple of skincare products, and I wondered where it fits in because I don't see it as often as I see other types of ingredients that we've previously covered. Today, we're talking about the chemical element known to chemistry lovers as Zn on the periodic table, which has an atomic number of 30, and this is zinc. Zinc. Now, zinc is known quite formally for its uses within the field of metals and, rubber and a bunch of other things, particularly within the industrial kind of sector. However, it is also a very important nutrient found in our body that helps our immune system and metabolism function. However, did you know that zinc is also crucial for skin health? Yes, 100%. So we're going to be delving deeper into zinc and kind of just figuring out the do's and don'ts and where it fits in exactly and what kind of products would you expect zinc to be found in. I think everybody who has a concern around acne will actually find this to be a very interesting topic for today. Let's dive in. Fun fact, as I mentioned earlier, zinc is actually found in our body and helps our immune system and our metabolism function. However, 6% of the zinc in our body is actually found on the top layer of the skin, also known as the epidermis, which I found to be very interesting because in my research previously of the epidermis and the different layers of the skin, zinc didn't necessarily come up. So it is quite an interesting ingredient to hear that, a lot of the ingredients that I research, I always hear like, we have this naturally in the body, but of course, more of it does help, particularly as we grow older and parts of our natural body buildup or body structure kind of goes down the road of decline. So it was quite interesting that 6% of the zinc in our body is actually found in the top layer of the skin. Mainly, this is found in the top layer, so majority of that 6% is found in the top layer, but there is a small percentage also found in the second layer of our skin, which is the dermis. Let's unpack what zinc actually does for the skin. So I identified 4 things that I thought quite interesting in terms of what kind of benefits can we get from zinc. The first one makes a lot of sense because I've seen this being mixed or in products that have both zinc and niacinamide. And that is zinc helps with regulating our oil production. It helps with controlling sebum production. And if you'll remember accurately, sebum production is quite important for the skin. However, too much of it can lead to clogged pores and it can also lead to acne. And so, interestingly enough, one of the products that I first bought a few years back when I was kind of getting into my skincare routine and kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't work for me was The Ordinary has this niacinamide 10% plus 1% zinc that I think a lot of people might be interested in or know about. Now, I think a lot of us often focus on the 10% niacinamide, but actually that 1% zinc, I've often wondered why it's there and what does it do and why call it out, right? Most ingredients don't typically get called out specifically on the brand packaging, but for them to call out zinc meant that there must have been something we needed to know about the importance of zinc. And ultimately, what this is telling us is that it helps with oil production. And so therefore, anybody who has oily skin or who has acne-prone skin would benefit from a product that has zinc in it because it helps with managing the oil production. I would even argue that, at least in my experience as well, like I would argue that even people who don't have oily skin or acne-prone skin, for those occasional breakouts every once in a while, having a product that has zinc might be helpful. Of course, there's a huge range of other products that you could have. Your retinols help with breakouts, your niacinamides help, your salicylic acid, and so on and so forth. However, if you're seeing a product that you really like and it has zinc, important to know that it will help with controlling sebum production, because all of us at some point in our cycle, especially the ladies, are going to see that there is points in our cycle where sebum production is higher as a result of certain hormones fluctuating. And so if you're like me and I have dry skin, not necessarily oily skin, but there are times in my cycle where I need to just, keep an eye on everything because my oil production is quite high for various reasons, then I have seen in my experience when I used to use the niacinamide 10% and 1% zinc from The Ordinary, that it would actually help with getting the zits under control. Now, does it work faster than some of the other products that I've used? I don't think so. And again, I've always had this issue with the Ordinary niacinamide where like it kind of like leaves this white residue behind. I don't know if it's because I put way too much on, way too little, or if I'm, layering it on top of something incorrect, which I don't think so because I'm pretty comfortable with how I layer my skincare. However, I will say that the product itself was great. It was just in the mornings, I didn't like to use it because of the white residue that it would leave. However, in the evenings, I'm always happy to put it on because I'm not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So the first benefit of zinc is that it does help with oil production. The second thing is also for the acne prone skin individuals is that it does reduce inflammation. So it soothes your red skin. It helps, avoid that irritation that you often get when your skin is inflamed. And it also helps with the swelling. Now, for those guys who may have kind of like your whiteheads, your blackheads, but specifically inflammation acne, like this is very helpful because with inflamed acne, you're just going through so much, right? Your pustules and your papules, you're probably feeling very uncomfortable, very irritated. Your skin is super sensitive. You're maybe turning red as well in certain, sometimes it's like you're red all over the face and sometimes it's only in certain areas. Zinc or anything, or any product with zinc would also help with that redness and just that reducing that inflammation from the breakouts that you're getting or the acne that you have. And then the third thing is it does support wound healing, which I found to be very interesting. So apparently zinc aids in the duration of new skin cells, which is quite interesting because I think there's a number of other products that are more popular in the market for this. But I guess it's one of those things where it's like, look, if you're looking for something that is for acne prone skin that covers a number of different areas including the growth of new skin cells, then this is a product that you might want to perhaps look into, or an ingredient rather that you might want to perhaps look into in terms of the different products for it. And I will give a few examples at the end. Last but not least is it boosts immunity. When I first read this, I was like, okay, but we're talking about skin. We're not talking about like the internal part of my body. But actually, it helps in fighting skin infection. So one of the things that I'm actually not sure if we shared this before, but part of my research has taught me that as we grow older, and our skin gets, thinner, drier, and, sometimes even the types of medications. Like I know I used to be on acne pills for such a long time, which yes, helped in clearing the acne, but also resulted in my skin being very, very weak and thin. And so part of my regimen is really strong on like barrier repair. I find that when I get like, let's say, a scratch on my face or like a really bad pimple, the time of healing is actually quite longer than it used to be. And even just on my general skin, as I grow older, I find that like when I do have wounds, which I do sometimes get a lot of those from liking things, my skin takes a little bit longer to heal than when I was younger. And so part of what zinc apparently does is it helps your skin fight the skin infections or kind of like repair a little bit quicker. So it helps to just really support the skin in basically aiding it with its natural process of healing, which is great. So those are the four benefits. It helps with regulating oil production, it reduces inflammation, it supports wound healing, and it boosts immunity. as we can tell from the benefits, zinc is a great product for acne-prone skin. If you're somebody who typically has breakouts every once in a while, you might want to get something that has some zinc in it. It is also really good for eczema, apparently, as well as any kind of wound healing. All right, zinc oxide is often found in sunscreen. So this was actually quite interesting because I have kind of seen this in passing. Zinc oxide is often used in sunscreens because it helps protect the skin from the UV radiation. And so a lot of sunscreens, when I actually went into the research, just like tons of them have zinc oxide in them. So one of the things that has also for me been really important in my journey is, and I talk about this a little bit on our Instagram page, is like it's not just about what you are putting topically, right? So your serums, yes, that's important. You need to have a proper skincare routine and be very consistent with it, and have good products that you're putting on your skin, very suitable products. But also you need to supplement that with drinking your water, with moving your body, with sleeping well, but also with eating well. And some of the items that have zinc in them that you can incorporate into your diet include beef, pumpkin seeds. I love me some pumpkin seeds. You can mix those into your granola in the morning, or like your oats, or whatever the case is, or even your salads. I think some salads, if you buy them ready-made, you will find that they have pumpkin seeds. Beans and nuts are good sources of zinc as well. So you can incorporate those into your diet as well, just to make sure that you're getting your dose of zinc. And the nice thing with what you're eating is it's not just for your skin, right? It's for your body as well, because even your body needs zinc. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But just before we talk about your body's need for zinc, I also wanted to share some examples of Korean skincare that has zinc in it. So Zeroid, which is a brand that I recently came across when I was looking for Korean skincare that deals with, or that is good for acne, that is good for eczema. I came across Zeroid, which is a great brand, and we've now got products from Zeroid on the store, and those are specific products for eczema. Zeroid has another line that we don't currently have on the store. It's a red line, which basically has zinc in it and is for oily skin and extremely acne-prone skin. And so Zeroid is one example of a brand that has products that have zinc in them, and they've got like moisturizers, toners, cleansers with zinc in them. And then we have Istora Theracne 365. This is a moisturizer that has zinc and a BHA in it. A BHA would be like your salicylic acid. And we have the moisturizer on the store. If you go to like acne prone skin or like oily skin, you will see Theracne in there. But they also have a toner and serum for the same brand. We just don't have those on the store as yet. And then there's like Cosrx, which has like a niacinamide 15, which has a zinc PCA in it. And then of course your sunscreens like Round Lab and Beauty of Joseon, which we have on the store as well, have zinc oxide. So you can check those out. That should be pretty helpful. And I do always encourage people, I'll do maybe a separate video for each of the different skin types, but if you're using something like a salicylic acid in your cleanser, right? For example, I use the Anua deep pore cleanser, which has salicylic acid. I don't use it every day just because I don't actually have acne, but I do have occasional breakouts. So because I don't have acne and I have occasional breakouts and my skin type is dry skin, I don't use that cleanser every single day, because using that would actually strip my skin of its oils and then of its natural oils too much, such that my skin would become dehydrated and basically release too much oil to overcompensate for the fact that it's feeling so dry. So if you're like me, I would suggest, which is what I do, is I use the Pore Deep Cleanser that has salicylic acid maybe like twice a week. Sometimes even once. If like my skin is looking good, then I just use it once a week. And that's really just to like clean out my pores and just like for pore care. And then also, of course, when I do break out, then I'll use it. But even when I have breakouts, I don't use it every day. I use it for like, let's say on a Tuesday, maybe again on a Thursday, and then I'm done for the week. Because the regular use of it is actually not great for dry skin, especially super dry and sensitive skin. So if you are going to use something with zinc, I also suggest that, personally, I would suggest that you don't use it in every single product. So like your toner has zinc, you know what I mean? Like everything just now has zinc, because I do find that it does strip your skin. Is like, if your skin is sensitive at all, it will strip your skin of its natural oils. Lastly, I do take supplements. I'm not a big fan of taking pills, but I do occasionally take supplements for, just because I travel a lot and I'm always on the move and I don't always necessarily get all my greens. So depending on how I feel, like, and what I'm eating, like, and I try and keep track of what I'm eating, like even just from my mind, I don't necessarily write it down, but I take these supplements, which are calcium, magnesium, and zinc complex. Now, what I wanted to know specifically was what is included is in zinc complex. So what I came to understand about zinc complex is that zinc complex typically refers to a dietary supplement or skincare formulation that combines zinc with other important supportive ingredients, and it basically enhances the absorption or efficacy of the zinc itself. So the term itself isn't standardized, right? So this may not be the same. And even with this, like I noticed that they spell it with a K. I don't know if it was because I bought this in Dutchland or if that's truly how it's known. But it's basically a compilation of different products, and they may vary in their composition. So if we break it down, you have zinc complex as a dietary supplement, something like this. And this usually contains like a zinc gluconate, a zinc citrate, or a zinc picolinate. And these are common forms of zinc that are easily absorbed by the body. Other ingredients that it could have it may be combined with like vitamin C, copper, or B vitamins to enhance your absorption and support overall health. And the benefits of taking these supplements is basically to help with a robust immune system, to help with inflammation and any acne and wound healing. So similar to the things that we've already mentioned for the skin items, it would basically do similar items, the same thing for like the body, just you're ingesting it, right? Similar to how we have a collagen face mask or collagen products for the skin, you can also get collagen tablets that you take, which I take because I haven't been using a lot of collagen skincare at the moment. All right, and then you also have zinc complex, which is in skincare, and this is sometimes combined with niacinamide, copper peptides, and ceramides. I think my actual peptides from Cosrx might have zinc in them, and then the niacinamide, like I said, from The Ordinary is niacinamide plus zinc. I haven't seen anything with ceramides, but maybe that's just an oversight on my end. And again, it's helping with anti-acne properties, skin healing, and anti-inflammatory effects. And then there's a number of other ways you can also blend zinc in terms of like how you incorporate it into your life. But ultimately, an excessive intake of zinc is not healthy because it can lead to dizziness, nausea, or copper deficiency. Some people may have reactions to zinc if they are sensitive to topical zinc formulation. So if you're one of those people, I always suggest please try it first on, on your hand before putting it on your face. And then, of course, like it can have interactions with antibiotics, which can maybe reduce its effectiveness and so on and so forth. So as usual, with any tablets, you want to make sure that you're consulting someone, either a doctor or a pharmacist or whoever, is at the shop when you're purchasing your supplements. Just make sure that you're getting the right stuff. For me, I don't like to take a lot of supplements, but these two are pretty good. Collagen, I'm not very fussy about which brand I buy because I often don't, I'm not in a place where I can buy the same brand. And then these, I mean, there's like 240 of these in here. So I've been using them for like 6 months. So yeah, I hope that that was helpful on zinc. And the next time you are looking for products for acne-prone skin, definitely have a look at whether the products have zinc or not. Of course, there's other product ingredients that are really good with acne as well. There's a range to choose from, but it seems like zinc is the girl she thinks she is. Pop onto our store if you are acne-prone and check out what we have under oily skin and acne-prone skin. The Thoracne cream by Astura is has very, very good reviews. And other than that, we will catch you on the next Mindful Mondays, and we'll catch you tomorrow for Transformation Tuesdays. Have a fabulous day further.